don't know why it takes so long. There we go. Say hey, everybody. Welcome. Sorare first pitch. Game week 14 live before lock. I'm Alex Hooper. Uh, the people here probably know me. Hello, welcome back. I am glowing. The lighting in here is still a little whack. I want to change that real quick. But let's see. Say hey to everybody in the chat. Drop your questions. We got an hour until lock. And let's get going. I'll go over some of my favorite plays of the week. And we'll take a look. Here we go. All right. I'm going to toss the projections on the screen. And then I am going to make it just a wee bit darker in here. All right, one second. All right, there's my. Ready as I sit down. Okay. Hello, friends. I should probably move my mic close to me, huh? Yelling from far away. John, what's up? Yeah, I know, Marco. I'm sorry. John, what's up? Waiting on Yandy Diaz and Trout news. What news we got? Just to see if they're back or if they're starting. I haven't seen any injuries in their two cases. I guess we can find out, huh? Do we not know that Trout will start? Do we not know? He should. They are both injured. All right. Let's see. Trout is projected in. What's up, Dennis? How about Yandy? Oh, that's right. Yandy did leave yesterday, huh? When does Tampa play? Oh, does Tampa not play today? Yeah, Tampa doesn't play today, so you are not going to get that news most likely. They play the Mets tomorrow, and the Mets are playing Washington. So, yeah, I wouldn't wait on him, but we should have Angels lineups any minute now. They're probably waiting on him. Normally, it comes out 4 hours before the game. I think I've said that. So we are within the 4 hour mark. Jack, what's up, pal? Let me just send out a quick shout out and then I'll take a deeper look. All right, let's give Mike Trout the old Google here. Latest. Got a bunch of people honking cards. Yep, still no Angels lineup. So, all right. John, if I see it, I'll let you know. But hey, shout out to Magnum / Belgian company with the second place? No, we did get first place in AL Rare, and I think our friend Matsuyama got first in Rare National League. Yeah, so Rare FP team holding down the number one spots in AL and NL Rare. Shout out to the guys. We just do big things over here, y'all. I mean, it's been nuts. I expected things to go well this year. There you are, Dennis. What's up, buddy? Hell yeah. Way to win it. Wander, you gotta love that. That's years of utility. I knew we would have a good year. The sheer amount of winning that we were doing early on in the year is bananas. Bananas. I can't believe the amount of wins we've already had just in the Discord. Like, not even like wins. Like, I had two straight second place finishes in Super Rare, which was amazing. But like, we have people winning every single game. Number one, first place, tier ones. Like, the group is just getting better and better. So if you're not subscribed, $5 for projections, $10 for the Discord, which is what really makes it, and also the My Gallery sheet. Patreon.com/SorareFB. That's my plug. All right. Yeah, stacking Wander and a Rosarena, that's the dream. That is the dream. All right, so let's look at these projections. I overhauled the projections today, actually, so we're doing a bunch of winning. Maybe I goofed. There's a chance that I goofed everything up by overhauling the way that I did, but there were some changes to be made. So let's see here. A lot of the names you would expect at the top of the list. A lot of four gamers. I think Tatis is the only four gamer at the top. Or sorry, three gamer at the top until you get down to Juan Soto at 15, and then you got a couple of Reds at Coors and Spencer Steer and John India. Um, Francisco Lindor, the standout middle infielder, along with Adley Rutschman, and the four games there. So if you're prioritizing a buy, if you want to make a big buy, Rutschman and Lindor are your premium middle infielders this week. Jonathan India as well, actually going to get you a really nice price as well. So 0.035 for a rare. Boy, I'd love to snap up a super rare him right now, actually. Let's see. I just might. I have the cash available. Let's see. What is Jonathan India doing now? If you haven't hit the like button already, please, please do. Helps us a ton. Helps us a ton. Man, India's 2 mint went for 0.166 on the auction block 12 days ago. That's $300 for a super rare of Jonathan India, who is now in Coors this week. So that's pretty cool. So what patterns do we see other than four games? We're generally going to see that in the midweek. You know, a lot more. You're seeing a lot less team bunch up at the top with these changes. You see a little Baltimore, you see some LA, you see some Mets. All of them playing four games. So, I mean, that's going to happen. You see some San Diego, though. You got the two young guns and Soto and Tatis at the top. Who are they playing? It's got to be bad. It's got to be like Kansas City or something if they're popping like that. Yeah, it's Kansas City. There it is. Um, Marcus asks, is Judge back for real? When you say for real, what do you mean? If he's reinstated, he's going to play. I haven't seen if they've brought him off the. Yeah, if he's not on the IL, he's playing. Like, they're not going to bring him back to sit. What's up, Nick? Everybody, shout out Nick. If you don't know Nick Mitchell, Nick at EtherSport here in the chat, follow him on every channel. Follow him on Twitter, follow him on YouTube, uh, everywhere. The man is chock full of knowledge. He breaks things down, and he's way better at getting content out than me. I've been very inconsistent on my content for a number of life reasons, and Nick is always on the ball. So shout out to Nick. What's up, buddy? Thanks for joining. Um, Giacomo asks if it's time to sell Jonathan India. You know, flipping right now is a whole thing. Let me bring up old John India's Sorare data chart. Um, so let's look at some price graphs here. I don't know that flipping is very viable right now. it depends on what you need. So let me take a drink of water. I'll try and explain a little better. Let me compose myself. All right. So now that the market's not as crazy, and a lot of the newer folks who have migrated to Sorare MLB are fewer and further between, you're probably not standing to gain a whole lot. Like you can be a trader in this game, and and still play the game, but a lot of times you just want volume. So to answer the India question, like if you bought him here, if you got him for, let me pull up the dollar amounts. If you got him here for $8 and all of a sudden, 2xing that profit, like if that's going to make a big deal, if you are trying to build your gallery, yeah, I think it's a good time to sell him. At Coors, there's a chance he goes 0 for 12. There's a chance he doesn't do enough to help your team, and you can reinvest that $20 into someone else, and maybe multiple other people, and expand to multiple lineups. But Giacomo, I don't know what your gallery's like, so I kind of take should I sell questions a little differently than I used to. Before I used to be like, yeah, if you could profit, do it. But the more I've been playing the game to like try and win first place, the more I value XP and the more I value higher lineups. Because if you have Jonathan India with a 17% multiplier and you're facing people with um, Jonathan India with a 15% multiplier, then all of a sudden you're trumping them. Like in an even lineup, you're trumping them. If you just run the same lineups and then that's the difference, then all of a sudden you have a head start. So I'd prefer to have the XP. But if you're playing really low stakes and you got them for $8 and you can make 11 back, then yeah, you can reinvest that into a couple of $5 guys, and all of a sudden, you've raised the level of your gallery. So that's the way that I always answer that question. 8 months ago, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that price, what, point double oh 004? Oh, this you? For eight? Oh, 8 months ago. Yeah. So what did I get him for? Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So you got him in here somewhere. Um, that's a fine flip. It's Jonathan India. And also, like, he could come down after this week, and all of a sudden you could buy him back. But it just depends on what you need. Like, I don't know that you want to flip him to flip him. Is he in a good lineup? Is he in a lineup that could win something? Maybe you can make up his worth all in 1 week by playing on your team, and then you still have him. So, but if I'm saying, all right, I'm going to take, an extra 0.011 and reinvest it, if you wanted one player, if you wanted one hitter for that price, you could flip him and get Alex Bregman with just the money that you profited. So you could get Alex Bregman and Dansby Swanson for that price. Are those two guys together better than Jonathan India? Or the long term, like you're diversifying quite a bit. So, yeah, if those margins make a big difference to you, then yes, I would say it's time to sell them, or it's a good time. But you got 34 minutes to make that sale, so it's more like he's likely to come down because it's a Coors week. If he hits 5 homers this week, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Jonathan India's going to win the MVP," then maybe you still salvage some of that price, but you got to make that one quick. All right, I got to go back and answer Marcus's question. Back to old form with Aaron Judge. I don't remember what the injury was to Judge. I think we have a little bit of a lag, so I'm just going to Google it first. Um, Maybe not. All right. So let's go to baseballs.com. How about that? This is where we find out about Aaron Judge. I mean, there you go, right? I don't even have to look up his name. He's already the top expected slugging performer in the league. So, sounds like yes. What are the rest of his numbers looking like? And how's he trending? Yeah, those numbers look pretty darn good. I'd say he's back, especially because the rolling numbers are like higher than they've been. So like, yeah, he's more than back. That looks like a man possessed to me. But boy, that whiff rate's low. Yeah, yeah, you're all right. I would answer that question with a resounding yes. Aaron Judge is back. Um, Chris says India has 4 games next midweek as well. More reason to keep him. I have Jonathan India in rare. I used to have him. I sold him for a pretty nice price in the off season, but I'm a big Jonathan India guy. Nice young player that proved himself, and those are the ones that I buy. I don't like rushing after the hype. I will wait like half a season to see like what their numbers look like, what their profile looks like. Are they gonna, you know, I guess I never really know if they're going to withstand the wear and tear of a season, but there are certain things that indicate long-term success for short-term success. So, like a guy like Brent Rooker, I think this year came out hot, but his underlying stats might not have looked as good. I don't know if it was Rooker. Trying to think of somebody, but Dennis says India is 113th in my rare column with 22.6 points per ETH. Um, yeah, so like he's not a max value. I wouldn't go out and buy him right now. That makes him sound more sellable, right? So got India and Steer today for my gallery. I bought a Spencer Steer super rare in the off season to like he was the last super rare purchase I made before the season. I scrounged up some money to get him because analyzing the prices and the year long projections, he was like the outlier on the sheet. It was basically like this is a guy who's going to perform 4% better than league average over the course of the year, but his price is like in line with guys who don't play. So I was like, yeah, I'll just get a Warren Body on the team. And then he hit the homer that pushed me into second um, for Super Rare Pro, the second place, the second runner-up finish I had in Super Rare 2 weeks ago. So that was pretty rad. I'm a big Spencer Steer guy. Um, all right, I might have done this last time I was on, but I wanted to point everyone to the rolling windows leaderboard on Savant. Um, Joey, I see your question. I will answer it here in a second, I promise. So the rolling windows leaderboard here on Savant, this is also um, a great little spot to figure out who you should be buying or selling. Um, like if you look at guys like Muncy or Jonah Heim, they've had a rough 50 plate appearances. So 50 plate appearances, um, I don't know that I'm gonna be like in love with that. I'm not gonna read a ton into it, but room to question. Like these guys are streaky. Max Muncy is a guy who he's gonna strike out a ton. He's gonna homer a ton. Jonah Heim gonna homer a ton. I don't know if he strikes out a ton. I guess he would because he's a big boy and hits for power. Castellanos, same thing. So you're gonna see those guys in here. Joey Gallo, say no more. Um, Now, when you look over here, you see a lot of the same guys with Pete Alonso, Kyle Schwarber, and Brandon Lau. Um, Perhaps it's the time to get out on them until they start appearing in this top spot, as you see Jonah Heim and Joey Gallo in here. So, over 100 plate appearances, these guys are still hitting the ball very well. Gotten a little colder recently. Normalized, probably. Um, Sean Murphy continues to stay hot. Luis Robert is on both of these lists. He's on all three of these lists. To me, that shouts buy Luis Robert. Um, Especially the fact that he's on this 250. Basically, I think you could buy all five of these guys with, you know, if you assume their playing time is going to be the same. Like a guy like Trace Thompson, I don't pay attention to him, honestly. I don't know how often he's playing. He's 32 and has been a journeyman, so maybe I wouldn't go after him. But like, and then like Ke'Bryan Hayes here, 337. I won him. I have a Ke'Bryan Hayes. I wouldn't run out and buy him. But like at a 337, like yeah, he's improving, but how much do I really care? Torres at 382, over 250 plate appearances. That looks like a guy who's rediscovered his form. Ian Happ, Luis Robert. What's Luis Robert up to, price wise? He never really like he's always been pricey, so I doubt. Yeah, yeah, he's just rising. You could get a nice limited for a decent price, but right now you're going to pay out the wazoo if you want a rare for Luis Robert. So you always got to pay attention to that. Like over 250 plate appearances, the market's probably going to react. So yeah, I really like these rolling windows here on Baseball Savant for that sort of deal. Same thing for pitching. I would definitely skew longer term. Like Dylan Cease getting hit around a little bit more. Lance Lynn, shocker. Tyler McGill's been oof. You're gonna get a lot of relievers in here, but if you see starters, it's helpful. So like, Vince Velasquez might actually be worth a buy. I don't think Jamie Barria is still starting. He started a couple of years ago, but Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller looks like a guy you can actually lean on right now. And then yeah, basically anyone down here, run from him. This is definitely like for relievers. This is a do not play. Like I wouldn't touch James Karinchak right now. Dolo, you don't have to worry about because he's hurt. All right, let's answer some of these longer term questions in the chat. Who are my favorite relief pitchers that act as starting pitchers this season? Spencer Strider, and you're gonna have to pay a premium to get that card. As of right now, there are none. As of right now, if you're coming straight from my roster building video, I know I spent some time talking about that, and then they changed the rule. I would not pursue those relievers as starters too often. As a matter of fact, like in a midweek like this, there are a lot of 4-game relievers that you can target and play. Like you can play 2 relievers. I've talked about this before, and I would play relievers. So, did I guess that right? Um, you're going straight over from there. Um, yeah, so I need to find just the teams who definitely have 4 really quick. 4 games this week. If someone wants to drop them in the chat, someone knows offhand. All right, so the Orioles, the Angels, the Dodgers, both New York teams, St. Louis, Toronto, and Washington. So I'm going to try and remember those. I'm sure I'm going to have to keep going back and forth. But what I would do is I would come over to the roster resource, closer depth chart, and I might actually change some of my lineups based on this. All right, so Baltimore was one of those teams. If you have it, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Yenier Cano. You got some high usage from Felix Bautista here. He could see a couple of games, but like guys like Cano and Baker this week, with Baltimore having 4 games, I would definitely lean on guys like Baker has not pitched that much, and I have one of him, so I might run him out. Um, so New York has 4 games. Michael King looks like a great spot here. Hasn't pitched in 2 days. Ian Hamilton hasn't pitched in 2 days. Um, so with 4 games, like they are going to probably get 2 appearances, and that's enough. If they get 2 holds and don't get battered around, like that's that's 20 points plus 3 for the innings. So that's 26 points. If they get a strikeout or two, you're looking at 32 plus your multiplier. You're looking at like a 40-point week all of a sudden, just because they showed up in 2 games and like didn't get blown up. So because there's the 5 point difference, Joey, if you're coming over from that video, the 5 point relief pitcher appearance bonus is what I'm talking about. That's how they evened out the starters as relief pitchers thing. Now basically you just want people who pitch. So yeah, I see Wandy saved the last 2 games. So yeah, that is also. I mean, any of these 4. I know I pointed out the guys who haven't pitched. I'm just saying like they're probably going to pitch. But yeah, Peralta, if he is the guy they're going to force save situations, then yeah, he'll probably get 1 or 2. It's the Yankees, and they're playing Toronto. So, yikes. I could see them getting swept in 4 games, but like Wandy Peralta's still going to pitch. Who else did I mention? Toronto. All right. Swanson, Garcia, all these guys just pitched. Romano's off. So like, yeah, relievers with 4 games, you can just shove them in if they're not like run into the ground. I know he said the Mets, the Angels do. Matt Moore, I'm playing him 4 games against Baltimore. Estevez only threw 9 pitches yesterday. Got blown up by Josh Naylor. Shout out again to our friend Dennis. So, thank you, Dennis. All right, so I talked about, let's see, the Nats. Yeah, I got Finnegan. Who are the Nats playing again? Mets, Miami. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm prioritizing Finnegan this week, actually. Closer, rough team, could get some opportunities, should pitch. Sorry about that. Should pitch a couple of times. Did I miss any? What's up, Robbie? Dodgers and Cardinals. All right. Cardinals. Helsley. Been 2 days. They got 4 games. He's going to pitch. Gallegos. He's going to pitch. These 3 guys just pitched. Cabrera at 26. Hicks at 21 pitches. If they pitched today, then all of a sudden you're like, nah. I don't think they're dying to get these 3 in the games, especially when Gallegos and Helsley are fresh. And then the Dodgers. So this is interesting. Gratterall probably will not pitch today, even though he only threw 3 pitches. You don't generally see guys pitch 3 straight games. Basically, like even if guys get up in the pen or get hot, as they say, they'll count that as a relief appearance in terms of like pitch tracking, and they won't, or they'll count it as like 2 consecutive days. So like Evan Phillips, you're safe. Caleb Ferguson, you're safe. It looks to me like Shelby Miller would be a decent play. He hasn't pitched in 5 days. They need to get him some work. If you have him, toss him in. But like I'm talking second relief pitcher mode. Phillips, spot on. Ferguson, great. Any of the high leverage guys, any of the guys that they like to put in the game on a 4 game week, toss them in. I hope I answered your question. Yeah, other than Strider though, and if you have that card, then like, yeah, I'm running as limited out. So, but mostly you want relievers who are going to pitch, and preferably in high leverage situations. Not even high leverage situations, actually. With the lead, with a 3-run or less lead, so you can get a hold or a save. Holds are really easy to get. I mean, like, any of these guys can get a hold. If their team is winning in the 6th inning and the starter threw 100 pitches, he had to labor, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, had to get out of a couple of innings, and all of a sudden they need to get to that bullpen early, but they have a one-run lead. They don't want to burn the bullpen in game one, but maybe they'll go to one of their higher leverage middle relievers, and all of a sudden he gets a hold, and it's 10 points for just showing up. I love that. All right. Giacomo asked me a question about 20 minutes ago. I'm going to answer that. Who do you think is the most overrated / underpriced hitter? Same the other way around. My question or my answer to this is always Shohei Ohtani, even though I bid on him this week. Shohei Ohtani's price is ridiculous. You could basically look at Shohei Ohtani and say, like, all right, if I buy Shohei Ohtani, I'm getting Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole. So what are the prices for Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole? Come on. There we go. Also, it depends on scarcity, by the way. I'm pretty sure my mouse is dying. So here are the rest of season projections. Oh yeah, my mouse is absolutely dying. This is going to be tough. I might not be able to log off. I might not be able to stop the live stream because my mouse is going to be dead. All right. So here is the projections for the rest of the season. In this order, currently, this is what you expect to see. So, Trout is in. All right, good deal. So what did I say? I said Judge and Cole. I would say like Acuna and Cole. So Acuna is 0.27. Cole is 0.11. So 0.38, based on my logic, would be what you would want to pay for Shohei Ohtani. He's going for about 0.321. Now, if you consider the premium of the fact that if you buy Acuna and Cole separately, you can play them in the same lineup, whereas Ohtani, you can only get points for one of them. That premium, in that logic, means that Ohtani is fine here. His price is actually kind of normalized relative to everyone else. It used to be that he was so far overpriced that it just didn't make sense. Now, like if I'm looking at Ohtani at 0.32 or Acuna at 0.27, I would still rather have Acuna if I didn't already have one. I'm looking at rare prices, by the way. Man, maybe I should just buy Shohei Ohtani Limited. Like I would still rather have Acuna, but if I just wanted Ohtani to have Ohtani and to be fun, I could get him and be like, yeah, I just bought an elite hitter and an elite pitcher in the same frame. But he's still a luxury. So that's why I say that. So he's always my answer. There's generally a premium for guys who can just blow game weeks open very easily, and he's definitely one of those people. The premium is not that crazy anymore. But like again, I'd rather have Acuna who can steal bases and just buy another pitcher independent. Like, all right, Acuna for 0.27 and Aaron Nola for 0.4 or Kevin Gausman for 0.05. That's what you're going to pay for Ohtani, but I can play them together. So that's still my answer. Based on rest of the season, Judge probably, but again, you can break a game week open. I would just rather pay for Ronald Acuna. If I'm buying anyone right now, I'm buying Ronald Acuna. But I already bought him. Overrated? I don't know. Because, like, I would say, based on current production, like, Jose Ramirez projects to be the second highest scoring hitter on the year, but no one's pitching to him because they don't have to. And I don't see him hitting these numbers if he doesn't ever get a pitch to hit. But also look at his price. It's 1/3 of Acuna. I would say buy the dip on Jose Ramirez, honestly. Like, that price is absurd. His limited price is absurd. 0.025 for the second highest projecting player this season. Would you rather have him for 0.025 or Bobby Witt for double? Obviously, it's a longer term play to buy Bobby Witt, but you know you're gonna pay premiums for that. But like, you could win a Bobby Witt by having a Jose Ramirez. You'd have a much higher shot. So I'm always looking at prices. In terms of like who's overrated, I have to use projections because like I said, Jose Ramirez not so hot right now. Who else? Trey Turner, the other guy I bought this offseason with Jose Ramirez, not very hot, not doing so great. So projection wise, I'm looking for people like Judge and Otani, who their premium is far too high. Fernando Tatis, his premium is far too high for what you're going to get out of him this season. Mike Trout, comparatively, this is based on him missing a lot of games, as he does. But if you're going to go buy him, it's tough. As far as who I think is an overrated player, boy, I love all these guys, honestly. Paul Goldschmidt, I don't know. He won the MVP last year. Hard to say that. I wouldn't say any of them are overrated. Juan Soto sure ain't showing what he's capable of, or hadn't been. But I'm not going to say he's overrated. I'm not crazy. So I hope I didn't dodge your question too much, but that's how I evaluate it. I love all the good players. Am I going to pay for all of them? No. No, I am not. Just a reminder, we got 10 minutes till lock, I think. 10-ish. If you haven't hit the like button already on this video, please, please, please do so. Please. I beg of you. 14 minutes till lock. It's just real helpful. Gets us to more people. Pops up in their feed. I know most of y'all probably subscribe. Trying to get those other people who don't. It'd be very, very helpful if you could smash that like button. We got 22 viewers. We got 11 likes. That means half of you are making me sad. Very sad. All right. There's another question. Well, what do you want from me, Giacomo? What do you mean I dodged? I know I served that up for you, but what do you want? Do you want me to say who I think is overrated? I don't like Aaron Judge because he plays for the Yankees and they keep knocking my Guardians out of the playoffs, but I'm not stupid. I know he's a damn good player. To me, Goldschmidt looks like the one guy on here is like one of these guys is not like the others. I would have said Adolis Garcia is one of those guys, but he just put up in 100. So like, who am I to say that? Dansby Swanson, I think, projects a little higher than I would expect him to. I don't really think he's that great a hitter. So there's my answer. Thanks, Chris. Watching on 2 devices, get them view counts up. Pitching wise, I'm going to answer that same question. Sorting again by projection. Somebody just jumped. Shane Bieber just jumped, which is shocking. Who do I think is overrated? Framber Valdez is not a guy that I think will hit these projections. I hope Zach Wheeler does. Logan Webb, I never know how he's up here. 129 projected strikeouts the rest of the season. I know he's got a super rare out there right now, but yeah, he's not a guy I think is a world beater. I just sold Julio Arias, but oh, you want to see my teams? I'll show you, Giacomo. I still have a question to answer. Marcus, how much value do you think other position for batters add to a card? So that's a fun question. I'm actually going to find my answer for you elsewhere. I'm answering Marcus's question here. It depends on the position. That's me in the former video. So let's see, Marcus, can I respond to you? Okay. Here's my answer to that question, whether or not other positions add value. It depends. Like, do I think adding corner outfield eligibility is like super helpful for an outfielder? No, not always. But like, all right. Here are the highest projecting corner infielders. So basically outfielders who are DHs as well, first baseman, third baseman. So Aaron Judge, who you don't think of as a corner infielder, is 1.64%, so like 64% better than the 80th percentile. So whatever. Let me do the actual math here. 100, well, 20 times 0.64. So basically, if you take the top 80th percentile of corner infielders, Aaron Judge is 12%, 13% better than that, even. So like 97th percentile. I shouldn't use percentiles because he's the bottom percentile. He's the number one. So, but like his VORP, his value over replacement player, is 1.64. In the outfield, it's 1.72. So if he were a corner infielder and added outfield eligibility, that is a big deal. The person who I am monitoring is Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts as an outfielder adds he's 1.55 VORP at 13.42 projected points on the season. If you make him a middle infielder, like he should become because he's playing shortstop and second base, I'm surprised he hasn't already had cards minted where he can be. I think some of his comments are, but 13.42 would be way up here. So pretend this Marcus Semien was Mookie Betts. Then all of a sudden, Mookie Betts is the second best middle infielder, 1.60 VORP. In the outfield, it's 1.55. So technically, he's a little better as a middle infielder. So if you can go get a guy who's now become the second best middle infielder, you're jumping, Bo Bichette and Gunnar Henderson, his shortstop version, and Francisco Lindor, because now you have the Mookie Betts that can do that, and he's better. And also, it allows you to get better outfielders in there. So, like, you don't have to play another middle infielder. You don't have to play someone who's not supposed to score as many points as Mookie Betts that week. So all of a sudden, your lineup gets that much better. So it adds a lot of value. If you have a small if you have a small gallery, like what I did when I was building my super rare gallery, was I went and I got Brian Reynolds with DH eligibility. So all right, I covered corner infield and outfield. I got MJ Melendez, who has corner infield, middle infield, and outfield eligibility. I already had Max Kepler. I grabbed someone else who has like a ton of eligibility. So basically, I was just trying to find people who allowed me to mix match my better rares in Super Rare All Star while still filling out the roster the way I had to. So if you have a very lean gallery, if you're just starting out, um, if you want to play the projections, having that positional eligibility is very helpful. But I wouldn't go like crazy. Like I am when I see a Mookie Betts with middle infield eligibility, I will be pursuing it very hard. Um, I'm not going to pay a crazy, crazy premium for it, but I'm going to pay the premium that I think is warranted based on its current price. There's my answer. Any weather warnings this week? Jack asks. Not that I know of. 0%, 0%, 17%. Cincinnati and Colorado have a 33%. That's not going to wash it out. Nothing today. LA and Baltimore tomorrow has a 44% chance. But because it's Tuesday, like I would expect these games to get in. I don't know of any down the line. I don't know of any bad weather rolling through. All right, we got 5 minutes to lock. Any lineup questions? Any, 1, 2 player worries that y'all have? Before we get out of here, thank you everyone for the questions. I thought about not doing a show today. I'm very glad I did. Y'all are very solid participants, very helpful. These are always way more fun when you ask questions. So thank you for doing so. Oh, Giacomo wanted to see my teams. That's a good way to fill the last 5 minutes. Even maybe I'll make a change and ruin all my lineups. Okay. Here are my teams. I prioritize Super Rare All Star first. As you can see, I have a lot of 4-gamers. I'm very Toronto heavy in my roster. So I just stacked them. Love my Zach Wheeler matchup against San Francisco. These guys are just the fillers. May I regret playing Kyle Schwarber in a lineup that I don't care about? Perhaps. Rare Pro is my next lineup. Valdez, Kershaw, or Javier is our last second lineup question. Valdez I have as my second favorite pitcher this week behind Spencer Strider. So I would say Valdez and then Javier. No, Valdez, Kershaw, and Javier in that order. According to projections. Let me actually make sure that it lines up with what I think to be true. Houston's got Chicago. That's a decent lineup. So he and Javier. And then LA's got Minnesota. Yeah, I don't think any of those teams are ones you're going to target or anything like that. So yeah, I would say the exact order that you listed it. Christopher, India and Steer versus Mateo and Hayes with 4-game. Projections say India and Steer. Mateo, I think, only gets 3 games. Yeah, I'm playing Coors there. Like, if it were Mullins and Mountcastle or Mullins and Santander, maybe I'd say something different. But I would play India and Steer at Coors. They're just better players, I think, even though Mateo can run rampant. I got double relief pitcher here. I got double relief pitcher here. 4 games of Springer. I feel better than playing Bryant Baker. Oh, how much time I got? 3 minutes? Can I get Muncy into a better lineup? That's pretty good. I want to put Baker here so bad. And then drop Muncy to All-Star and then move Cronenworth. That's a fine lineup. I don't need to move anyone around. I'm gonna regret it. But how am I doing the John Morosi? John Morosi posted a private league, by the way. Apparently, there's supposed to be some rewards somewhere in here. So I bet I won the super rare division. Oh no, not even close. Nice. All right, so he's got a lot of people signing up. That's cool. I figured not enough people got in, but yeah. Anyway, sorry for jumping around. 2 minutes left. Yeah, these are my teams. I think I spent a little bit of time on each spot. My prioritization goes super all star, and then the rest of my super rares go into pro, rare all star, limited pro, rare AL, NL, limited all star, limited AL, NL. That's how I decide to prioritize. I know a lot of people like going after the limited because of the amount of entrants. You know, what we're looking at like 1/6 of entrants win here, and here it's a little closer to 1/5. Actually, no, it's a little closer to 1/7. So yeah, actually, I would prioritize All Star now because more people are in these rare contests, rare AL, NL. But yeah, all right. If no one else has got any questions, we got a minute left until lock. That'll give me just enough time to pitch to the people who haven't already joined. Patreon.com/SorareFP. $5 for the projections, $10 for projections, the My Gallery page, the app. We just started beta testing the Sora FP app today. I'm so excited. Shout out to Captain No Sweat, my guy. It's got a lineup builder. It's got my projections, which you can't find in any other lineup builders. It's got, you know, the list of everybody who was projected well, my list of full projections. We're going to have some rest of season projections, and we should have a live leaderboard in there as well, so you don't have to bounce back between apps. I'm so excited about it. A couple of members of my brain trust getting the opportunity to test run that today. I'm so excited. So yeah, that's a $10 Patreon purchase as well. Is the So Rare app? The Sorare FP app. Sorare app is not under my umbrella. You can go get that for free elsewhere. But that's going to do it. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Like I said, so much more fun when y'all ask questions, and you did in droves. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit it on the way out. I would very much appreciate it. And good luck this game week. We got 4 days of baseball, and may you bring home the goods. Bring Sora FP more wins. Just keep tossing them on top of this gold pile we have over here. It's been so good. But all right, talk to y'all soon. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you hopefully on Friday.